One of the coolest parts about collecting action figures is the accessories, right? We love getting bonus items to customize, to display, to make the figure look exactly the way we want. And sometimes these accessories come with the figure, other times they're sold separately. Heck, sometimes action figures come with accessories that aren't even meant for them, but are part of a larger action figure, like the concept of a Build-A-Figure, or as Mattel called it, Collect and Connect, TM, trademark, and copyright. Heck, sometimes the action figure itself can be the accessory, like when those old Star Wars mini rigs used to come with overstock figures slapped in them. Hey, a bonus is a bonus. But some things we don't like as much, and that has to do with white things. And no, I'm not talking about, the White Queen or Caucasian characters. I'm talking about white powder. And no, we're not talking about anthrax, we're not talking about cocaine, when we're definitely not talking about the rich and creamy Betty Crocker frosting that we all love to put on our cupcakes because it makes it so much better than just eating plain cupcakes. I mean, come on, what's the point of a cupcake if it doesn't have frosting? It's like toast without butter or Arbor Day without fireworks. All right, so what am I talking about, this white powder? Well, for a lot of us older collectors who have figures that go back 10, 20 years, you may notice that figures, especially those in packaging, start to get a thin, white, flaky, powdery mess. It kind of looks like fake snow, like if you bought a packet of fake snow at Michael's or something and somehow were able to sprinkle it inside of the packaging, like a sealed package, which is the weirdest part, because the figures are sealed, so why is it when you pull them out, they have this odd white powder on them? Is it part of some kind of government conspiracy, or are the toy companies trying to, purposefully inflict us with some kind of winter wonderland romantic adventure? No, not so much. It actually all has to do with chemicals, and it all has to do with plastic and how action figures are made. So for those of you who have to deal with this sort of flaky, powdery, white substance that can appear on mostly toys in package, but it can happen to toys outside of packaging as well, and it tends to be the bane of a lot of collectors because you have to scrape it off or you have to live with it if it's in packaging. Well, actually, you don't, and I'm going to explain how not only to solve this, but what's causing it. Because a lot of this is frustration for collectors. Why is this happening? I have these great minted package figures, and now they're covered in white, weird, flaky dust, and it's no longer in mint condition. All right, well, part of it is entropy. And this is the concept that a lot of collectors have to sort of embrace, is the fact that, well, toys are not meant to last forever, especially plastic toys. Yes, if you buy like a high-end metal statue, that's probably going to last a long time. Toys, for the most part, are designed to be playthings. And entropy is a measure of the amount of energy that is no longer available in an object in order for it to work. And it's sort of waste product, if you will, that erodes from a product over time. And this is true of toys, because toys are made of plastic, and plastic comes from petroleum. And petroleum is not a material that is something that will last forever. It has a natural anthropotic. It has entropy. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what the common denominator of that and how you modify the word. But the point being is that plastic made from petroleum does dissolve over time. And the process is called pyrolysis. Now, this can happen with an extreme amount of heat that causes this, but it can also just come from the general decay of plastics over time, especially when those plastics don't have a ready source of oxygen. All right, so here's where we're going to get into it. So oxygen is the key factor that keeps a lot of product, shall we say, alive in good mint condition, because the flow of oxygen helps keep plastic from degrading because it's constantly getting a flow of new oxygen. When you take oxygen away, like if you just took even a plastic toy or a plastic bottle and you sealed it in an oxygen absent, like a Ziploc bag or something like that, you would see it would degrade. We all need oxygen. Humans need oxygen to breathe, fish need oxygen to swim, and flamethrowers need oxygen in order to fuel the flamethrowers. So when you take oxygen away from especially a piece of plastic, it's going to do very much what it does when you take plastic away from a living person. They fall apart. So, what can you do? What can I do about this? How do I get rid of these flakes that are coming from these figures encased in plastic not getting enough oxygen to keep them from deteriorating? Well, the answer is surprisingly to add a little heat to your toy, because that's going to cause the oxygen to start to flow again. So, it's essentially a specific heat capacity formula, and I'm not a physicist, though I do play one on the internet, and I'm not going to get into all of the technical math and science. But the simple, stupid solution is a hairdryer. Take a hairdryer, and yes, I know you could pretend it's a speed trap on the freeway and point hairdryers at cars and they'll freak out, but no, I'm talking about what you would normally do with a hairdryer, drying your hair, I suppose. In this case, don't point it at your hair, point it at your action figure. You want to take that hairdryer, move it up and down the back and the front of a sealed figure, and the heat that it creates will remove the white flaking because it will stir up the oxygen inside and keep the figure preserved longer. Toys aren't really meant to live in plastic cases forever, and they do require oxygen to keep from deteriorating, just like human beings do. So it's a rather simple solution. You can either take them out of package so that oxygen can get to them, or if you keep them in package, using a little bit of heat, and a hairdryer is the best method, you can replenish the oxygen and keep the figure mint in package without the annoyance of flakes. I hope this video helped enlighten you a little bit about why flakes occur on older figures and how to resolve it. Please do share it with others. It's the best way to support this channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the comments section and in the next video. All right, take good care.